for me, my response to that, first of all, just, Molly, help me out here. The ex-girlfriend, Alyssa Ennis, is that the one that he's been accused of being involved with?
It's the same one, and she went on the road trip with him
she
to
went on a road
Tampa
trip.
before the game, and then that's where he beat her up again.
That's
reportedly.
That's the clarification that I needed. Let me be very, very clear. Reuben Foster shouldn't be in the NFL right now. He should be banned from the NFL for this season for sheer stupidity alone. This is the same person that he got into the incident with in May, who recanted her allegations that he committed domestic violence against her. According to the judge at the time, she had actually been in jail before for filing domestic violence charges falsely against a previous boyfriend. So you got to be maybe the stupidest person on the planet, okay, if you find yourself in a situation, if indeed you were falsely accused, and she had a track record of falsely accusing others, according to you and his attorney and the judge at the time in May, knowing all of that, she's the one on the road with you to Tampa? You a new fool. You brought it on yourself. So I wanted to get that out the way. Having said all of that, let me tell you, Max, where I sort of disagree with you with the Redskins point, the Washington point. Here's the deal. If he can't play, because he's on the commissioner's exempt list, according to the rules, you can't practice with the team, can't work, you can't do anything. It's just a matter of if the case is cleared, we'll have the rights to you ahead of anybody else. Well, then my feelings about Washington is not so strong. Now, if he were allowed to practice with the team and play and stuff like that.
Do you think that's backwards, though?
What do you mean?
The policy where you're saying that they have to wait and see what happens. If he's cleared, then he can play.
I do think it is.
Do you think it's backwards that they should figure it out and then the process on the NFL?
I do think it is. I do think it is. But based on what we're talking about here, as it pertains to, okay, he shouldn't be allowed to play with the team. He shouldn't be, none of that should happen. Well, he's not. It's just that
why are they the one team to claim him? Out of all these teams, he's a talented player. Every other team got the message, like, we got to take this seriously. Now, if it was a total kind of like, wait, we don't really, but there's enough, is there enough smoke around Reuben Foster to at least hit pause until you find out
I agree with you.
burning?
I agree with you. It's just that there's always a first. So they would be the first.
What do you think of all this?
Are you guys shocked by this? I'm not.
By his behavior?
No, by
an NFL
by the
team.
Washington or NFL sending this message?
By the NFL, by the Washington Redskins putting in a claim. I actually think that sends an even stronger message. The fact that you put in a claim for a guy who's been arrested 3 times in a year, twice for domestic violence. Think about that. You could have easily let this guy been cut, pass through waivers, and then if you wanted to go that route, fine. But you put it in a claim. That means you really wanted this guy with all this baggage. And it goes to show you that in not only in the NFL, but in sports in general, teams, at the end of the day, it's about winning, okay? And your talent, if a team feels like your talent supersedes what they feel the perceived baggage is, they are willing to look past all of that.
I don't think that's I don't think that's harsh enough.
Wait a minute, but I'm not finished.
Because I'm going someplace.
But I'm not finished. This also tells you what the NFL will tolerate.
That's right.
It also will tell you what the
NFL
will. Hold on, let me finish.
Let me just say, not fair to say NFL.
Hold on.
Washington.
But
NFL has a commissioner's
exemption. Okay, hold on. Let me finish. Okay, because we've seen this time after time, whether it's Greg Hardy, having the domestic violence situation, and the Dallas and
Ray McDonald.
The list goes on and on. Okay, but the one name I'm gonna bring up, we keep bringing up Colin Kaepernick.
That's right. That's where I was going.
So to me,
that's where I was going.
100%.
That's where I was going.
It's
just funny, like what the league will tolerate and what they won't tolerate in these particular situations.
In other words, I detail?
Real quick. In other words, the values of that team or the community that supports the team are such that Kaepernick, no. Reuben Foster, yes. That's the message that's being sent. And there's a commissioner's exempt list. I just want to say one thing about the NFL because we take shots at them all the time. They have indemnified themselves pretty well here, saying, look, we have a commissioner's exempt list. You might claim them. You can't play them. So the NFL, at this moment, is clean. It's Washington we're looking at.
One other thing I want to add. You know how we said Washington's the only team that put in the waivers to acquire him? Well, the Eagles were the only team that contacted the police department to actually find out what happened. Then they decided to not put in waivers to claim him. Washington never even contacted the police to find out the details of what happened in any of these incidents.
Which makes them look 1,000 times worse. But the reason why I wanted to go where Damien went with Colin Kaepernick, Don LaGreca and Michael Kay on the Michael Kay Show, 98.7 FM in New York, were talking yesterday. And they brought up how, so you could kill somebody, you could assault somebody, and the NFL will let you in, but you exercise your rights as an American citizen to take a knee during the national anthem, and you can't find a job. Colin Kaepernick looks better and better every single day because it's not just Washington. It's the part of the NFL as well because, again, you could talk about a commissioner's exempt list, and I get that, but the flip side to it is that, hell with it. Sometimes, Colin Kaepernick doesn't need to be on the commissioner's exempt list, and he still can't get a job. So what the hell is that?
Know why Colin Kaepernick looks better and better every single day? Because, as Martin Luther King said, the moral arc of history is long, but it bends toward justice. Yeah. People have to ask themselves, what side of history do they want to be on?
Guess what? Too many people think about the short game, including the Washington Redskins.